folks. We're going to have, oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. My mistake. Folks, we're going to have a drawing for a pair of tickets to our next show, which is going to be Love Letters, which we're going to do as dinner theater at Foster's Restaurant here in Liverpool on Valentine's weekend. It's a wonderful show that we did last summer, and we're going to bring it back for dinner theater, and we're going to draw for 2 sets of 2 show-only tickets for Love Letters. Now, Love Letters is going to star, this time, our own Kris Kringle, Bernie Kaplan, and Kathy Greer-English, who played the lady part, will also be joining us. So it should be a wonderful show, and we're going to draw for 2 sets of tickets. Here you go, honey. There's one. And let's see who we've got here. We have Josepha Malawani. Josepha? Where's Josepha? Is that anywhere close to your name? Right back there. You win 2 tickets, and we got one more.
All right.
Here we go. One more, Courtney. Thank you, honey. And the winner is Mary Marchika. Mary Marchika from Memphis, New York. Where are you? Probably a long trip here. You also win. And we'll get in touch with you about those tickets. Thank you, Gary.
Well, you're welcome, of course.
Here we go. You can sing?
Over the river.
Through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh o'er wide and drifted snow. Gary, you know what? I think this would be a wonderful song to have some audience participation. What do you folks think? What do you folks think? Okay, well, you know what? We need a prop. We need the first prop. Where is the rocking chair? Rocking chair, oh rocking chair. That's not a rocking chair. But that's a rocking chair. Now, folks, if we have a rocking chair, what else do we need? A grandma. Now, I love people who come to a show and come back. And I think there's a real pearl of a grandmother sitting right down here. And folks, let's give her a hand so she'll come up. Let's give her a hand so she'll come up. She brought her granddaughter back today, and I think it's really wonderful. So Pearl, come on up here. Now, we also need a couple of kids, a little boy and a little girl. Thank you, Pearl. To ride to grandmother's house on these. Where do we have our, there we go, our reindeer and our horsey. There's one right there, is a little girl, and is there a little boy? There's a little boy, come on up, yes you, come on up, you two come on up. Whoever raised their hand over here, come on young man, you're gonna do it? You can do it, come on, oh, let's give him a hand, come on. And where was the little girl? Here she comes. Now, we need them to go over the river and through the woods. So we need a river. Oh, river, where are you? Here comes the river. And we also need some woods. Where are the woods? Come on out, woods. And here are the woods. Come on over this way a little bit, woods. Now, guys, are you up for this task? Yes? Are you up for this task? No. Yes, you are. Now, all I need you guys to do is when we sing the song to go over the river and through the woods. Can you do that for us? You can't. Sure, you're just going to stand here and look pretty on the horse, huh? You can do it. Okay, let's try it. Can you do it? Can you do it? Sure you can. Here we go. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh o'er wide and drifted snow. Over the river and through the woods, oh how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose, oh over the ground we go. You know, I thought I was tired, but these guys. You know guys, can we have just a little bit of enthusiasm? Just a little bit, please. Please? Well, if you don't, that's okay. Can we try one more time and let's see if we can get a little bit of action going here? One time, come on, here we go. The next verse.
Around the course.
Okay, let's go around the course. Follow me, guys. Here we go. Just follow me one time. Here we go. We're going to go over the river and through the woods. and through the woods. Okay, gosh, I wish I had that much relaxation.
You know how to gallop?
I'd sleep a lot better at night. Okay, hey, let's try it. Here we go. Last verse, Gary. Here we go, guys. Help us out here. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh or ride it drifted snow. Over the river and through the woods and grandmother's cap I spy. Hurrah for the fun, the pudding's done. Hurrah for the pumpkin pie. Let's give them a big hand and a round of applause. Carl, thank you very much. Thank you. Folks, we hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, that may be, but all the same, this could be a terrible boomerang to Mason. Just imagine if Gimble got a hold of this.
The problem is what to do about this poor deluded maniac.
We've got to do something at once.
Don't worry. He's just a kind old man. I'm sure that he would never harm anyone.
Oh, buddy, well, Mrs. Walker, he's evidently suffered some sudden change. He's entered into a violent phase.
Dr. Chris assured us that that could never happen in this type of case. It's delusional totally for good.
Dr. Pierce is not a psychiatrist.
Neither are you.
Well, the very least that should be done is to have Mr. Kringle thoroughly examined by a competent psychiatrist at once.
I don't think that's necessary.
There's no harm in it. If they agree with Dr. Pierce that he's harmless, he can come right back.
And if they don't, you've certainly done the right thing.
All right.
The only problem now is how to get him out of this door without creating another situation.
Mrs. Walker, you'll have to explain it to him. After all, you're his friend. He trusts you.
Oh, no, I can't do it. No, I won't do it.
Never mind. We don't really need Mrs. Walker. I know how we can do it.
Doris, I'm so glad I caught you.
What is it?
I just got a call from the psychiatric ward at Bellevue. It was some doctor down there. He asked me to bring down some of Chris's things. Said he wouldn't be needing any street clothes for quite a while.
That's what Sawyer did with him.
What's happened
Look,
anyway? What's this all
I
about?
was heading on the way down there. You got to get over to that hospital.
Chris, this is a lot of nonsense. You're just as sane as anybody and a whole lot saner than most. I'm going to have you out of here in no time.
To think, all this while she was merely humoring me. Well, if that's the way sane people behave, I'm glad I'm here with the others.
Doris had no idea what Sawyer was up to. I mean, he threatened to send for the police. She thought he was going to take her to a private doctor.
I'm glad to hear that, but then why didn't she come down here and explain everything?
Because she didn't want to hurt Chris.
Yes, just a little old man. She felt sorry for him.
No, it was much more than that.
No, she had her doubts. That's why she only felt sorry for me. If you had been dragged down here, she would have been furious.
What if she did have doubts? She hasn't really believed in anything for years. You're not giving her a fair chance, Chris.
It's not just Doris, Fred. It's the others. Well, it's people like Sawyer. I mean, vicious, and dishonest, and mean. Yet he's considered normal, and I'm not. He's out there, and I'm in here. Well, that's what normal people are. I'd rather not be. I'll stay here, thank you.
You can't just think of yourself now, Chris. I mean, what happens to you, it matters to a lot of other people. People like me who believe in you and what you stand for. People like little Susan who are just beginning to. You can't quit now, Chris. Don't you see?
Maybe you're right. Well, maybe you're right at that.
Of course I am. I knew you wouldn't let us down.
Chico, I should be ashamed of myself, and I am. Well, we may not win, but we'll go down fighting, Fred.
Now you're talking. Look, now don't you worry, Chris. They've gone ahead and filed commitment papers on you. It's not going to be easy to get you out of here. You have to request a hearing. Look, you just sit tight, and I'm going to have you out of here just as soon as I can, okay?
Thank you, Fred.
Hello there, Your Honor.
Mr. Mayor, it's so good to see you. What can I do for you today?
Just some routine commitment papers, Your Honor. You'll find everything in order, Judge. I've checked them over. The lunacy report's attached from Bellevue Hospital.
Bellevue AI. Suppose I have to read all this?
You can take my word for it, Judge. It's a cut and dry consent proceeding. This fellow calls himself Chris Kringle. He thinks he's Santa Claus.
Oh.
I'm Mr. Gailey to see you.
What does he want?
He's an attorney. It's about this Kringle case.
Better show him in. Mr. Gailey, how can I be of assistance?
I represent Mr. Kringle. The subject of these papers is my opinion that my client is being railroaded. I would like to request a proper hearing, at which time I may bring in witnesses.
I thought you said this was cut and dry.
So I did. This is the first I knew about the protest.
Your Honor may sign them if you wish, but I shall bring in a habeas corpus in the morning.
It won't be necessary. We'll have a hearing. 10 o'clock, Monday morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Extra, 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 read all about it. Read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Santa charged with lunacy.
The morning news at 9. These are very strange times. Chris Kringle, the little Santa Claus who alone is responsible for the wave of goodwill which has swept the city and even most of the country, is in trouble. Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen, this simple, kindly old man will appear before Judge Henrietta X. Harper. He is charged with, of all things, lunacy. Incredible as it may seem, my friends, that is the fact. If bringing back the true Christmas spirit is a form of insanity, then these are very strange times indeed.
Etta, you're looking kind of run down. Why take a few weeks off?
Nonsense. I never felt better in my life.
Look, go to Brazil, go to Pego Pego, go anywhere.
Why should I, Charlie?
Because this case is dynamite and you've got to get out of somewhere.
I can't do that. I'm an honest woman. Besides, what's the matter with a little good publicity?
Good? It's terrible. You're a regular comedy pilot ready from the start. You're every little kid's villain and your parents will eat you too.
Nonsense. What do you think? Let's go. Those are my kids. Come here, guys. They're my little sweeties I was telling you about. Come here, guys.
Here's your mother.
Oh, give me a hug. Fine way to treat your mother.
Anyone that would put Santa Claus on trial for lunacy.
Yeah, see what I mean?
We want Santa. 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 We
Judge Harper.
You may be seated.
Your Honor, I wish to call my first witness. Would Mr. Chris Kringle please take the stand?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
What is your name?
Chris Kringle.
And where do you live?
Well, I believe that's what this hearing will determine.
Very sound answer, Mr. Kringle.
Do you believe that you are Santa Claus?
Of course.
State rests, Your Honor.
Mr. Gailey, don't you wish to cross-examine the witness? I believe he was employed to play Santa Claus. Perhaps he didn't understand the question.
Oh, I understood the question perfectly, Your Honor.
In view of the witness's statement, do you still wish to put on a defense?
I do, Your Honor. I'm fully aware of the fact that Mr. Kringle believes himself to be Santa Claus. In fact, that is the basis of the entire case against him. The state declares that this man is not sane because he believes himself to be Santa Claus.
I'm afraid that's entirely reasonable and logical.
It would be, Your Honor, if you or I or Mr. Barrett here believed that we were Santa Claus.
Anyone who thinks they're Santa Claus is insane.
Well, not necessarily. You believe yourself to be Judge Harper. No one questions your sanity, Your Honor, because, well, you are Judge Harper.
I know all about myself, Mr. Gailey. Mr. Kringle's the subject of this hearing. Do you still believe you can prove him to be sane?
I do. If he is the person that he believes himself to be, just as you are, well, then he's just the same.
Well, of course, but he isn't.
Oh, but he is, Your Honor.
Is what?
I intend to prove that Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus.
Court's adjourned till 10 tomorrow morning.
Hello, Doris.
This whole case worries me. You're fighting a hopeless battle and jeopardizing your job at the law firm.
I don't feel that way. The publicity is working for us. The public is behind Chris. I think I have a chance.
What about your job at the firm?
Well, they told me unless I drop the case at once, they'd be forced to drop me.
Well, then you'll have to give it up.
No, I won't. I can't now. Doris, you know that. Chris needs me. I can't let the old man down.
What about your job? No, you can't give that up.
Well, as a matter of fact, I have already. I told him I had no intention of dropping the case, and that was that.
Oh, Fred. You don't have to be realistic about life. I can't go giving up good jobs over any sentimental whim. You asked me to marry you, and I accepted happily. But when you go and do something like this, well, I thought you were sensible and reliable, not a stargazer.
Yes, I am a stargazer, but I'm a darn good lawyer, too. I combine the best features of both. I'll make out all right.
I doubt if you'll ever get a job again.
It all boils down to this. You don't have faith in me.
Of course I do.
No, you don't. Not really. You're a very factual person, Doris. You don't believe anything unless you've got solid proof.
It's not a matter of having faith. You're about to lose this case. That's just common sense.
Faith is believing in things when common sense tells you not to. And you just got too much common sense.
Well, it's a good thing one of us has. It's rather an absence sometimes.
can't you get over being afraid? Can't you let yourself believe in people like Chris? In fun, and joy, love, and all the other intangibles?
You can't pay the rent with intangibles.
Well, you can't live a life without them. At least I can't. Of course, I thought Chris and I had changed you. I had hoped you'd be ready to string along with me by now, but I guess you're not. Well, see, there's no point in talking. We don't even speak the same language, do we? It's just no go, that's all.
I suppose not.
Then, there's nothing more to say.
No. You know, it's funny that with all my common sense, I really thought it was going to work out this time.
So did I. Well, good night. Department stores in New York City.
Dealer.
And Mr. Kringle is an employee of yours?
Why, yes, he is.
Do you believe Mr. Kringle to be sane?
Yes.
Do you believe him to be truthful?
Yes. Mr. Macy, you are under oath. Do you honestly believe that this man is Santa Claus?
Macy doesn't clean Santa! Shoppers protest! Say no to Macy! Macy sales plummet! Macy goes bankrupt!
Mr. Macy?
Macy confirms Santa is real! Shoppers flock to Macy! Macy sales skyrocket! Macy buys the people!
Yes, that's all. Sawyer, look right here. You're fired!
I call Dr. Pierce to the stand.
You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Dr. Pierce, you're a physician at the Maplewood Home, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you've known Mr. Kringle for many years, is that right?
Yes.
Do you believe Mr. Kringle to be Santa Claus?
Yes, I do.
I object. Dr. Pierce is a woman of science. Has she any rational, scientific reason for this opinion?
Yes, I have.
Did you express a Christmas wish to Mr. Kringle several weeks ago?
Yes.
What was it?
I wanted an X-ray machine for the home.
Well, did you express this wish to anyone else?
No, it was too expensive.
What arrived at the Maplewood home yesterday?
The X-ray machine.
Where did it come from?
The card said Merry Christmas, Chris Kringle.
Do you know of any other possible donor?
No. When I made the wish, I said, if I get the X-ray machine, I'll believe he's Santa Claus. It came, so I do.
I object to this whole line of questioning. Mr. Gailey is turning this courtroom into a circus. There is no such person as Santa Claus, and everybody knows it.
But Mr. Merrick, can you offer any proof that there is no Santa Claus?
Of course not. This is not a nursery. This is a New York State Supreme Court, and you are wasting this court's time with this childish nonsense. Your Honor, is there or is there not a Santa Claus?
The court will take a short recess to consider the matter.
I don't care what you decide about old Wizard Twist in there. But if you go back in and you rule there's no Santa Claus, you might as well go start looking at that chicken farm right now. We won't be able to put you up for the primaries.
How can I say he is Santa Claus, Charlie? I'm a responsible judge. I've taken an oath. If I do, they'll have me disrobed. They'll try me for insanity.
Listen, you realize how many millions of dollars worth of toys are made each year? Toys that wouldn't be sold if it weren't for Santa Claus? Have you ever heard of the National Association of Manufacturers? How do you think they're like their new That is men employed to build those toys. Union men. Have you heard of the AFL and CIO? Oh, they're going to love you, Etta, and they're going to say it with both. And there's a department store. There's the candy companies, Christmas card manufacturers, and the Salvation Army. Well, they got a Santa Claus on every corner. You're going to be a mighty popular person. And how about all the Christmas baskets we pass out? Etta, I tell you, you go back in there and you rule. There's no Santa Claus. You can count on getting just 2 votes. Yours and the district attorney's.
Mayor's a Republican. The question of Santa Claus is by and large a matter of opinion. Many people firmly believe in him, many others do not. The tradition of American justice demands a broad and unprejudiced view of such a controversial matter. This court intends to keep an open mind. It will hear any evidence on either side. Mr. Gailey, do you have any evidence to submit?
Yes, Your Honor. Would Thomas Mara please take the stand?
Oh, me?
Thomas Mara, Jr.
I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and nothing but life.
I do.
Thomas, do you believe in Santa Claus?
Sure I do. He gave me a brand new sled last year.
What does he look like, Tommy?
There he is, sitting right there.
I object.
Overruled.
Tell me, Tommy, why are you so sure that there is a Santa Claus?
Because my daddy told me so.
And you believe your daddy, don't you? I mean, he's a truthful man.
Of course he is. My daddy wouldn't tell me a thing that wasn't so. Would you, Daddy?
Thank you, Thomas. You may step down.
Don't forget, a real official football helmet.
You shall have one, Tommy.
Your Honor, the state of New York concedes the existence of Santa Claus.
This court concurs.
But having so conceded, Your Honor, we ask that Mr. Gailey cease presenting personal opinion as evidence. And the state can bring in hundreds of witnesses with opposite opinions, but it is our desire to shorten this proceeding rather than to prolong it. I therefore demand that Mr. Gailey now submit authoritative proof that Mr. Kringle is the one and only Santa Claus.
Your point is well taken, Mr. Mara. I'm afraid I must agree. Mr. Gailey, can you prove that Kringle is Santa Claus on the basis of competent authority?
No, Your Honor, not at this time, but I would like to ask for an adjournment until tomorrow.
Very well. Court is adjourned till tomorrow afternoon at 3.
too.
Hey, Luke, look at this one. I've seen him send letters to Santa Claus at the North Pole, the South Pole, care of the Postmaster General, and every other way. But look here. This girl writes to Mr. Chris Kringle at the New York County Courthouse. And it's special delivery, too, see?
Yeah, well, the kid's right. They got him down at the courthouse. This Kringle guy, he thinks he's Santa Claus, and some DA thinks he's nuts.
You mean some DA thinks there really might not be a guy who's Santa Claus?
Well, the DA doesn't think so, but there's a lot of guys that thinks there is.
Hey, Luke, I've got an idea here. Hey, we could go get a couple of special big trucks, see? And we could go down to the post office. And you know all that Santa Claus mail we got all over the place? We could put it in a truck and take it down to the courthouse, to Mr. Kringle.
Geez, why didn't I think of that? Let's go! Reports on 4 men who think they're Napoleon, 2 who think they're Caruso, and 1 who thinks he's Tarzan. As you can see, delusions like Mr. Kringle's are not at all uncommon.
Mr. Gailey, do you have any further evidence to submit?
I have, Your Honor. It concerns the Post Office Department, an official agency of the United States government. Now, the Post Office Department was created July 26, 1776, by the Second Continental Congress. The first Postmaster General was Benjamin Franklin. At the present time, the Post Office Department is one of the largest business organizations in the world. Last year, it did a gross business of $1,112,877,174.48. In the last quarter alone, it made a net profit of $51,102,579.64.
It is indeed gratifying to know that the Post Office Department is doing so nicely, but it hardly has any bearing on this
It
case.
has a great deal of bearing, Your Honor, if I may be allowed to proceed.
By all means.
Now, the figures I have quoted indicate an efficiently run organization. Moreover, it has been an official branch of the federal government since 22 days after the Declaration of Independence. All jobs are under civil service. Promotions are based strictly on merit. Furthermore, U.S. postal laws and regulations make it a prison offense to deliver mail to the wrong party.
Your Honor, the state of New York is second to none in its admiration of the Post Office Department. We are ready to concede that it is a most authoritative and efficient organization.
For the record.
Yes, for the record. Anything to get on with this hearing.
Then I wish to introduce 3 pieces of evidence. Mark them Exhibits A, B, and C. The letters are addressed to Santa Claus, USA. These letters have just now been delivered to Mr. Kringle here in this building by the Post Office Department. I submit, Your Honor, this is positive proof that a competent federal authority recognizes Mr. Kringle to be the one and only Santa Claus.
3 letters are hardly positive proof. I understand the Post Office Department receives thousands of such letters every year.
I have further exhibits, Your Honor, but I hesitate to produce them.
Just bring them in, Mr. Gailey. Put them right here on the bench.
Yes, we'd all like to see them, I'm sure.
But, Your Honor,
I said put them right here.
Very well, Your Honor. simply addressed Santa Claus.
If the United States Post Office believes this man to be Santa, this court will not dispute it. Case dismissed. Merry Christmas, Mr. Kringle.
You were right, Mother. There is no Santa Claus. I should have listened to you.
Susan, I was wrong when I told you that. You must believe in Mr. Kringle and keep right on believing. You must have faith in him.
But how can you believe that a poor old man who worked in a store was really Santa and would give you your Christmas?
Susan, faith is believing in things when common sense tells you not to. If you don't believe, you never will get the things that you really want. Learn that the hard way. Everyone can have faith when everything is fine, but real faith means believing, rain or shine. The letter you wrote to Chris helped encourage me.
I believe, but this is certainly silly. I believe, but this is silly. I believe.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas, Fred.
Chris called and he'd like me to bring you and Susan out to Maplewood for a special Christmas party.
Oh, no.
No, it was real important to him. Please.
All right, let me get up close.
He gave me directions on how to get there, so we won't have as much trouble getting through the snow. Everyone believes in Mr. Kringle now. It's unanimous. This house made Susan believe in it. And it seems to be for sale. Can't let Chris down now, can we?
I never really doubted you. It was just my silly common sense.
Even makes sense to believe in me now. After all, must be a pretty darn good lawyer. Took a little old man from an old folks home and legally proved to the world that he was Santa Claus.
Well, I think they're wonderful. Oh no. Well, it could be. It must have been left by the people who moved out.
Well, maybe. But on the other hand, maybe I didn't do anything so wonderful after all.